Joe Biden's disastrous gun control speech, one whopper at a time. President Joe Biden delivered remarks on Tuesday at a gun control advisory group in Everytown annual conference, Gun Sense University, and as is often the case when Biden speaks about guns, critics were quick to point out a series of factual errors. Of course, Biden's comment came within hours of his embattled son Hunter Biden's conviction on several gun-related felonies, including a few of his oft-repeated and already debunked claims, in addition to a few new additions. Greg Price noted several mistakes that Biden whipped through in under a minute, from debunked claims about his alleged history as a professor to the assertion that the Second Amendment was written in a time where individuals were not permitted to own cannons, which is just stupid. Joe Biden, in less than a minute, claims he was a professor, which he never was, claims he taught a constitutional law class in the Second Amendment, which he never did, says that you couldn't own a cannon when the 2A was implemented, which you could, and ends by failing miserably to say the phrase, "The tea of liberty is watered with the blood of patriot," which he doesn't even know what a patriot is, so I don't blame him for blundering that. There's never been a time that says you could own anything that you want. Never. You couldn't own a cannon during the Civil War. No, I'm serious. Think about it. Biden said. Nobody thinks that you're joking. Whenever he says something, he thinks that people are laughing at him. Nobody's laughing. Nobody thinks that you're joking around. We know that you're dead serious, man. We know that you're serious. Stop saying that I'm not joking. We know that you're not joking. But as the New York Post reported, the few laws passed regarding cannons during the 19th century were primarily focused on limiting where they could be discharged, restricting the sale of a weapon to children, and regulating how gunpowder could be stored. Is it legal to own a Civil War era cannons in the United States? A fact check on Biden's speech today, one I have done many times. You can own a cannon. Of course, because he's stupid. He doesn't even know what people can even get. Never mind when the Second Amendment was first passed. Today, you can buy a cannon. There was a time that I was going to Pennsylvania. I was going to Hershey Park, and there was a cannon in somebody's front yard. I'm like, what the heck is this? And we were all laughing about it because we thought it was funny, but it was actually a really cool addition to their front yard. I think it was in Pennsylvania. If not, I believe it was in Pennsylvania that I saw it, but it was actually really cool to see that in person. I didn't really go up to the front yard. We were just passing it by as we were going to Hershey Park, but it was really actually cool, and you can still get it today. This was only 7 years ago that I was there, so the laws did not change. As for the late President Thomas Jefferson's quote, "The tea of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants," Biden's version was as follows: "How much have you heard this phrase? The blood of liberty washes those, give me a break." So he doesn't even know what Thomas Jefferson said. Gun owners of America added a few infractions to Price's list. Oh, don't forget, Joe Biden said Americans would need a F-15s to resist the tyrannical government. You wouldn't. Claimed the firearm industry is the only industry with immunity. They aren't. Claimed that guns kill more children than car accidents and cancer combined. They don't. Got the name of the federal agency responsible for gun control wrong, the AFT. Biden also repeated his call to ban assault weapons, saying that he did not understand who needed a magazine that could hold 200 shells. That's not an assault. What is an assault weapon? There's no definition of an assault weapon. Whenever somebody says an assault weapon, what the heck is an assault weapon? Because I could take this bottle, and then if I use it to whack somebody on the head, I assaulted somebody, and this is used as my weapon. This is my weapon, and the assault is me actually whacking somebody on the head with this very thing right here. So again, we need to actually sit here and realize what we're saying here. Assault weapon. There's no category of gun that is an assault weapon. You are not going to look up AW. Give me an AW. There's no such thing. An assault weapon is just an imaginary term that the left created so they can just label any gun that they get scared and makes them cry and makes them poop their pants and makes Joe Biden poop his pants, which is an everyday occurrence, banned. So that's exactly what they tried to do. They tried to ban the AR-15. What's the reason? Because it makes them poop their pants. What is the reason why they tried to ban the AK-47? Because it makes Joe Biden poop himself. So what? So we're going to be stuck with, instead of actually having guns that help us protect ourselves, and it's actually fun to use at a range, because I guarantee all of the people that want to ban these guns have never went to a range before. I just recently went to the range 2 weeks ago. I would like to go again. There was a slight problem with the rifle that I took, so I'm trying to sort out that problem, and we're going to go back to the range. I enjoyed the range. It was actually a fun experience for the first time of me going to an actual real gun range. The last time that I went to a gun range, it was actually an airsoft rifle that I shot, and I actually got the target on the first hit of the first time that I actually tried using a gun in my whole entire life, and that was on the 4th of July, and I was wearing 3 different American flags throughout my body. So it was actually really good, and it was funny. I think I said this story before. It was funny because as I went up to get the airsoft gun from the instructor, he was like, "Oh, here comes the Canadian." So it was just funny because it was 4th of July. Anyway, it was actually a really good time. And what people don't understand is that's what the majority of people that are going to own guns that are going to do. They're just going to go out with leisure. They're going to go with their buddies. They're going to go to the range. And they're going to just have a good time for the hour, maybe 2 hours, every 2 weeks, if that, maybe a week. Because bullets are expensive too. People are forgetting the fact of, yes, you need to buy the 1,000 or the 1,500 gun first, or the $1,000 gun first. And then you have to get the membership, or you have to pay to actually go to a range, and then you have to pay for the bullets. And if you buy them in bulk, it's expensive, but then you save a little bit of money. Or if you don't get them in bulk, you need to go to the gun supply store, which is next to your house, which bullets are going to be like $13 for 20. Like, it's not a cheap thing to actually do. And those 20 bullets, you're going to go through like no tomorrow. Even the actual the targets that you actually shoot, those aren't, I mean, they're $1, maybe $2 each thing. I'm not saying that they're the most expensive thing in the world, but it's still money that you have to spend. Nobody's just going out and using their gun willy-nilly in their backyard, unless you live in like Texas, or you live in somewhere like Nevada, where you have lots of space. Nobody's going out in the backyard and just shooting all the time. No, you're going in a safe environment, in a closed facility, in a range where you can actually enjoy your time there, stuff like that, not really worry about stuff. That's where the majority of Americans are going to use their firearms. So obviously Joe Biden does not know this because of the fact that he doesn't talk to an American. He doesn't realize what the facts are, and he doesn't even care about what the facts are because he has a progressive policy and a progressive ideology to push on Americans, and that's to take away your guns and take away your rights. Our Second Amendment in America is to protect ourselves and bear arms because of the fact of a well-militarized militia, or a well-regulated militia, goes and protects the ability for people to bear arms. I'm not saying that is the exact quote, but I'm saying that is the reason. Our military is supposed to serve us, the people, and preserve our freedoms as Americans, not the other way around. Not we, the people, are going to go and preserve the right of government to control our life. That's not it. And it does not also say the government of America will go and try to restrict upon us, the American people. That's not also what it says. So, of course, Joe Biden needs a little refreshment before he absolutely loses his mind fully. Of course, he might remember the time with Thomas Jefferson in Senate. He remembers talking to Thomas Jefferson, but the thing is, at the same exact time, he's forgetting a lot of this stuff. Yes, he might remember the founding of America in 1776 and in the signing of the Declaration of Independence. He might remember all of this stuff, but the thing is, he's not remembering it now. He might be 400 years old. He might be a dullard and an old man and a dullard. He is not the man that he used to be when he was a young 40-year-old man 300 years ago, okay? He's just not the same man.